Hello everyone. So today I'm going to make a video for everyone that I think will be super helpful, and it's how to tint your eyebrows. So I think that this is something that can help a lot of estheticians, hair colorists, and just people in general that have blonde brows, gray in their brows, brows that they want to look a little fuller. And I've been doing this for a very long time, and I've been using this specific product for about 8 years now, and it's the best thing that I found that I use on myself and my clients. So let's get to it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just brush up my brows, and you want to make sure that your brows are nice and clean. And I wanted to make this video for a long time because I think it's going to be really helpful to so many people, and a lot of people I feel like still don't know that this exists or is out there, and it's a total game changer for me. It's my favorite beauty thing to do, one of my favorite beauty things to do for clients, and like probably my favorite thing to do for myself. So my brows right now, they look like a dark blonde, but they would get almost like bleach blonde. I've been tinting for like 8 years now, so my brows still would, it'd probably take like 2 months for all the color to come out. So they still have like a little residual color. Now my preference for my brows is I like to do black because I like the contrast of my blonde hair and black brows. But the reason I love this tint, and the tint is called Reflecticil. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Cosmoproof, which is a beauty website. If you just look up Reflecticil, they have a lot of different places you can get it from. It's an international company. I believe it's based in Europe. So there's like a lot of different websites that have it. I'm like super low on this one, so I'm gonna cut it open. And you want to do just like a dollop, like a dime size amount of tint. Now the reason I do black is because I like to do a contrast while I'm processing. It only sits for 10 minutes, so I'll go over what color would be best for you. So this is like a good size amount, and there's a cream oxidant and a liquid oxidant. Now the cream oxidant, I feel like processes much faster, so I'll use this for a client or someone that, and you just do 2 drops, that wants to have their brows look pretty dark, or I will do it for like an eyelash tint. We use this as well, like for lash tinting. And I actually will mix up a little more dye because I have so much blonde in my brow. So this tint will actually pick up, like everyone has, like just like you have downy hair on your face, you have those little hairs throughout your brows, and they're called like your little vellus hairs. And most people have little blonde hairs in their brow, but a lot of people have little tiny hairs, and they don't realize that if they tint their brows would look twice as full. So this is like a total game changer for people. That's so simple and only takes 10 minutes max. And you just take a little brush, mix it all. You don't need much. And this part, I mean, it's great because you can't really go wrong. Now, a little trick that I've learned over the years, like with clients, is if you don't want your brows to get that dark and you're someone that picks up with color really quick, some people just with hair color pick up so fast. I feel like I take longer than most people, and sometimes I leave my tint on for a little bit longer, but they say 10 minutes, so that's what I would recommend. And just to be clear, this is only picking up the hair, so it doesn't tinge your skin or dye your skin. And I'm gonna clean that up. And yeah, if you're someone that has like really coarse, dense hair, like really your actual hair follicles really coarse, you know who you are, you'll probably pick up much faster. And a little trick is you could just put a little Vaseline through your brow first. And that like is great for anyone doing this for the first time, just to guarantee like it stops it from sticking to your skin, and it guarantees like it won't get that dark. Now my brows always stick to my skin. It's a scary look at first, but this is not how it turns out in the end. So most people don't realize like this will, you know, be on the skin the first day or a couple days, and they'll think that then it's the tint, you know, coming off, but this actually is just meant for the hair, and a shadow of the dye kind of sticks to your skin for a day or so. Nothing like this, you'll see, but that is not, it's gonna stay on your hair for 3 to 4 weeks. So it's an awesome tint, and it will last like 3 to 4 weeks. It's super low maintenance. You never have to do this, it just rinses out. And the other thing I want to say is you cannot do this if you have self tanner on. You want to tint your brows and then use self tanner the next day or like 2 days later, because with self tanner it gets a little funny and it kind of sticks to your skin, and it like locks in with the self tanner, and it almost like turns, it oxidizes and almost turns like a green. So you definitely want to wait like 2 days before you get a spray tan or anything else. So I used to work in Pennsylvania about almost 10 years ago. And then I used like different dyes. I've tried different dyes when I was out of this and had a client, and they all turn your brows like black. So the great thing about this, it's really creamy, it's really natural looking. And I definitely am someone, like I said, I want a contrast. I want my brows really dark. My hair is fine, so the finer your hair is, you can go a little bit darker, and you'll see my brows won't actually look black. They really look like a really dark, you know, ash brown or like a charcoal. And tomorrow when I wash my face, and today of course I'll wash my face, but by tomorrow when the tint's not sticking to my skin anymore, it actually will look very natural on me. It won't look really dark black because my hair is fine. So if you're someone with blonde brows and you just want like this, like a taupe, which is the same thing as like a light ash brown, you would just do light brown with a pinch of graphite. And graphite is like a charcoal, so it will give you that ash. So you do a light brown, pinch of graphite, and that will give you a beautiful natural taupe color if you want that. And you just have like dark, you know, blonde, bleach blonde hair, so it just looks very natural. If you're someone that has like black brows and you just want to fill in, you can start with the dark brown and leave that for 10 minutes, and it will just fill in your brow. It won't really change the color at all. It will just make your brows look much fuller and fill it in. And eventually you'll probably start to see that you'll get comfortable enough to mix in a little black, and you could do a little bit at a time and then just go straight to black. If you're someone with red hair, normally we wind up doing dark brown mixed with light brown. The light brown pulls a little bit more warm and the dark brown pulls a little bit more cool. So when you mix them both together, it's normally like a nice medium brown, perfect shade. That's the same thing for like people with medium brown hair will definitely normally mix light brown, dark brown. And if you ever want it a little bit lighter, just do a pinch of dark brown. If you want it a little bit darker, then just do a pinch of light brown. And then you might eventually just find yourself just doing dark brown, no light brown at all. And if you really just want your brows to be light, just start with straight light brown. I've had like really amazing results with this. People come in to get their brows done when I used to work in the brow bar, and they sometimes have had light brows like their whole entire life. They think they have no eyebrows. That's how I used to feel, like they were so, you know, a little bit on the wimpy side because they were just so light. And they'll get this done and literally look like they have like twice as much brow, a full gorgeous brow. We've had people come in as well who got over waxed, over plucked, and if you tint your brows, this is a great remedy for that while you're trying to grow them out, because what it will do is just make you look like you have twice as much brow hair. And so it really helps with the growth process, that you don't have to wait as long for your brows to fill in and grow, because with the tint it will make you look like you have twice as much hair. Okay everyone, so my tint is definitely ready. So what you'll do is, I use a little waxing stick, but you can use a Q-tip, and you just kind of scrape off most of the color. Makeup wipes are great too. Now again, I prefer my brows more dramatic, so don't think that this is the look that you'll get. If you do light brown, it will be so soft and natural looking if you're a blonde. And if your brows are already dark, it's not like it's gonna fill them in. They're gonna look so much fuller, but it's not gonna be like such a dramatic difference like with me. But as you can see, it's just on the hair, so it's not as crazy as maybe you would have thought. My favorite thing about this is I literally would never leave the house without filling my brows in, and even though I'm a makeup artist now, I leave the house all the time without filling in my brows. It's like one less thing you need to do. And my absolute favorite thing about this is I feel like it makes you look more beautiful naturally, and who doesn't want that, right? So it just is something that frames your face, shapes your face, even makes your eye color pop because it's color on your face. So it makes, you know, your eyes just stand out even more, and it just makes your life easier. It's amazing. If you have gray in your brow, it's a little bit more stubborn. So you want to use, you could use like light brown and graphite for gray. You can use dark brown and black, depending on, it's the same rules that apply depending on the color that you want. But gray hair is really stubborn, so you'll have to sometimes go back in with a little bit of graphite and just kind of do like a spot treatment to get those gray hairs. But this is one of the best things. I mean, that's why you notice celebrities never have like gray brows normally, or you know, people will have gray hair and their brows will look great, and it really does. I mean, if your brows are really gray, it can really age you. Same thing if your brows are really blonde, it can really wash you out. So this is a great thing to just get the gray out, enhance your brows, make them look so much fuller. And this is, just want to let everyone know, this is something that if you have a professional in your area that does this and does a good job, I would definitely go to them, because my brows don't grow that much. So I'm gonna just leave my brows, like I won't shape them. But some people, when you tint their brows, they are like, whoa, Like they need their brows shaped right away, right then and there. So right now with, you know, quarantine going on, everyone being at home, you have to be careful with this because your brows will probably need to be done after. So if, you know, this is a great time just to grow out your brows. So if you have someone you normally go to that does this for you, just let your brows grow, go to them, because your brows will look much fuller after this. And if you haven't tweezed or waxed them in a month or 2 months or 3 months, your brows can look maybe a little too full for you. So if you, this is amazing, and the reason I want to make this video is I know I worked at a really popular place in the city, Boom Boom Brow Bar, which I highly recommend. And we would do like 45 people a day. We saw, you know, some celebrity clientele, and that's, you know, was a great way to really learn to do tinting on so many different brows. And we'd get people all the time that would just come there because they would say that where they were from, that tinting was illegal, and they would wait like all year to get their brows tinted there. But this is something you can do at home. Just go to your local salon, get your brows waxed, threaded, tweezed first, and then you can come home and tint your brows. You need to be careful if like who you go to for your brows is not used to tinting. Your brows look much fuller when they're first tinted, so they might take a little bit too much off. So it's good to wait. If you tint before you go in, wait a day or so, so that residue is off your skin. But as you can see, it's not bad. It's not too much residue, but it's like a total game changer. And just makes your brows look so much fuller. And one other thing is, if you're someone that lives in an area where, like, you know, no one does brows, and you clean up your brows yourself, I would say to just put the tint on, and as crazy full as your brows look with the color, just go around and tweeze anything that's kind of far away from your brow. If anyone wants to see like a little how-to on brows, I do have a link in my bio right now of an article that was featured last week on Your Tango, that I wrote a little bit on how to clean up your brows during quarantine, so you can check that out. But I have friends all over the US at least, that own brow salons and are amazing and do this service, because it is also about like picking the right color. If you have any questions, please feel free to DM me anytime just to ask any, you know, color related questions, and I can help you with that. I hope this video helps you and helps any hair colorist that wants to add this to their regime. It's much better on your brows to use this gentle dye than to use hair color on the brows. So this is a great thing for hairstylists to add to their services, estheticians to add to their line of services, and anyone who's in an area where they can't find anyone to do their brows. This is a total game changer. It's amazing. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much and have a great day. Hello. I wanted to add some more quick tips and tricks and notes. As you saw, I just took off my brow tint with just makeup wipe, which is really easy. Now, if you ever have experience that goes, you know, it's too dark for you and you're like freaking out a little bit, I mean, with this you never have to worry, because it only lasts up to 3 to 4 weeks and it washes out. So if you don't like the color, you literally just have to like wash your face like 5 times and it will be much lighter. But some quick tips and tricks just to get the color off if you have an event and you went a little bit too dark, or if your skin's a little more dry, sometimes you'll find it will stick to your skin more than usual. So if you do this often and then one day you have a little bit trouble with it and you have an event that day, you never have to panic with this. One thing you could use is a toner like Sea Breeze. It's amazing. You just go through your brow and it strips the color right off of the skin. It keeps all the color on your brow, but it just takes off all that excess on the skin. Another thing you could use if you feel like you went too dark and you are like panicking a little bit, you want it to be a few shades lighter. I know a lot of people are really specific on the color, and if it's just a tinge too dark, they're just like, do not feel like themselves, which is totally understandable. So one thing you can do for that is just use like Dawn dish detergent, because it's stripping, and it will just really strip off some of that color and make your brows a little bit lighter. And another thing that's great is a lot of hairstylists use this Rue Clean Touch. It's like what they use if you get like black on your skin when you dye your hair. So this is also really stripping. So as you can see, like my brows right now, you can really see it on the skin. If you use this, it really helps get it off. I actually kind of like to leave it because I feel like it just helps it last longer if I don't scrub it too much. Especially with quarantine, it's like, who cares? But I hope everybody's doing well right now. And this is something to make you feel beautiful while you're stuck at home. Yeah, and you could see like, you can see a lot came off of hair. It's more than it looks in person, but that just really, or on camera I should say, but that just really helps it get off your skin. I didn't want to leave you guys without that tidbit, because a makeup wipe does get it off good, but some people are they really want it like off their skin. They just want their brows tinted and they don't want any of that shadow on there. So for those people, this Rue is good. Sea Breeze is amazing. I wouldn't use the Dawn unless you literally feel like you went too dark, because it really will strip the color out. See how much came off? So I wouldn't, want to do that because it defeats the purpose. It's really only for like a mishap. But this honestly, like, it's not like dyeing your hair or anything like that. You can do this, like anyone can do this. Like eyelash tinting is a little trickier. That I would not recommend to do yourself. But as you can see, it just took it off the skin, and I like, the contrast of the dark brow with my light hair. But, okay, and that's it.